Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
As the third year of Casters Guild comes to an end, we once again look back at what the guild has done. But what will the guildmasters do the next time they come out of hibernation? That's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your guild master of production, Rick Perry.
And I am your guild master of lore, I guess, Baron Kane.
And, previous season finales, I have spent time thanking you, the listeners, which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate you listeners. But this time, I want to take a moment to thank you, Guildmaster Baron. Without you, I don't think I could do Casters Guild. I might be able to do some other geeky podcasts, but it wouldn't be Casters Guild. And Casters Guild has been there for me for the past 3 years when I really needed it. So thank you, Guildmaster Baron.
Well, I never really know how to handle thank yous, but I know for a fact, for multiple reasons, I would have never done this without you. You know, for the very, very practical sense, I don't have the patience to do the editing that you've done. I don't have the time. I don't even say how you have the time to do the stuff that you do. But I didn't know I needed this as badly as I did.
Right.
Especially for when it came around.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And I know it's like this has been like this has always been one of our things that we fall back on. The whole, this came up during the crisis, and we knew we needed it, but we keep saying it because it's true.
Yeah, and then it was just serendipitous because we decided to do this before the crisis, and we decided, hey, we're gonna start recording this. We're gonna do the thing. We came up with the name. We came up with what we were gonna do, and then the crisis hit.
Good name, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And that's usually the compliment I get. Like if I go out and I tell people, yeah, I have a podcast. It's called Casters Guild. They're like, oh, that's a fantastic name. Which, not trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but we went back and forth with names for a week.
It was definitely a workshop situation. Yeah. It 100% was, but
yeah, it just happened to work out like that. We decided we were going to do a podcast. It was just a fun thing we were going to do, and then a global pandemic hit, and it was just like, oh, this works.
Yeah. And I mean, it's done a variety of things for us. I think it's kept our minds off some bad stuff. It's kept us busy. It's we've grown, I think, a lot, especially in this respect in terms of storytellers, and I mean, even in terms of production. I mean, you've grown quite a bit. I know that this situation has, like the whole podcast thing has made it easier for me to talk with people. Even if it wasn't for this, I could have definitely fallen to the hole of introvert that a lot of people did during the pandemic. I could have very easily.
Oh yeah, same thing. And it would have been bad for me because I definitely am an extrovert. Like I need human connection on like a daily basis, and if we hadn't had this set up beforehand, I don't know how I would have gotten it outside of the people who lived in my home.
Right. Which I think kind of going down this rabbit hole, I almost think, and no offense to the loved ones that we live with or see on a daily basis, I don't think they count because they're so close that they might as well be you.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, or doesn't matter how good a person is, if you spend enough time with someone in close quarters while talking to no one else and having no contact outside, like eventually a person's going to grate on you, no matter how much you love them and how good of a person they are. It's inevitable. I mean, I feel the need to clarify, but at the same time, I don't think I actually need to do because we all experienced it firsthand. We all know how true that is.
Right. But yeah, I think this was, I mean, we've done enough kind of patting ourselves on the back. We're not like a horribly popular podcast.
No.
Let's just face it. We're not. But we have also said from the very beginning, we're not doing this for anybody but ourselves.
Right.
And I think that, and again, we were just doing this for us, but I'd like to think that some of our guests got something out of this.
Oh,
a lot of our guests aren't people who big podcasts would go out of their way to talk to.
Mm-mm.
They're not people who a lot of small podcasts with high aspirations would talk to.
That's very true.
Not saying that we don't have high aspirations. I mean, I genuinely think that we could go places if, we had the right wallet. Let's go with wallet.
If we could get a foothold.
Right. And you know what? We could start making $1,000 a day tomorrow, and I would still have the same guests.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what got us here. There's no reason to go start looking. Now, not to say that if we did get big, we wouldn't have, other guests as well. But the whole point of the Casters Guild at this point comes down to doing this for us and our guild members. And everyone who's ever been on the podcast is a guild member. And I appreciate every single one of them. Yeah. And the most common thing we get from new guild members is they're not sure if they can do a podcast or talk about something for 2 hours, or they're not sure if they're comfortable. And, the ones who are at least comfortable enough to come on and try, at the end of the episode, they're always like, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. And it's just like, yeah, we're just sitting around talking. I mean, anybody can do it.
And that's all podcasts are. Mm-hmm. Podcasts aren't interviews. They're just people talking. Yeah. And I think a lot of people who hate podcasts realize that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I hate to say it. A lot of people who hate podcasts realize that. On the flip side of that coin, a lot of people who love podcasts realize that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that everybody in between, the people who don't realize that, don't get that full emotional connection that they need to love or hate it.
Yeah, or they just don't listen to podcasts and they don't know. They hear about podcasts from other people and they have this idea in their head of what a podcast is. And
but then you don't hate a podcast. You hate the idea of a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even saying people who love it or hate it. Just people who just there are a lot of the people who don't know what to expect or don't realize that it's just people sitting around talking and having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a podcast guy. I don't sit around and just listen to regular podcasts because I think I would because I would rather have those conversations.
You'd rather be a part of the conversation.
Yes. That's just like back in high school. I loved playing football. Love it. Once I got out of high school and I wasn't playing, I hated watching football because I don't want to just watch people. Now, weirdly enough, I'll watch people play D&D. Isn't that weird?
I don't think so, because I think there's a big difference between watching football and watching D&D, because watching D&D can be like watching a good fantasy TV show. You're getting immersed in the story.
I'm listening to a story. Yes, mm-hmm. You're right. That's exactly what it is. I might as well just be listening to an audiobook at that point.
Yeah.
Which, let me tell you, through the course of this podcast, I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I'm starting to listen to audiobooks.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about them, I think, on a couple of our episodes. I think especially with the Duke and Duchess, we talked a little bit about audiobooks.
Yeah. I started listening to audiobooks because I have this book series that I've had since I was in 3rd grade. It's a novel set, 3 books, and the first book is falling apart. And I just didn't want to mess it up any more than it's already been messed up. And finding that book by itself, paperback, is so expensive that it's just like, you know what? I have a subscription to Audible. I might as well just use one of these free tokens. Forget it. So, yeah. Yep. So now I've only read the first 3 books. Didn't realize that there were any books after that. Now I'm on the 4th book and loving it.
Yeah, I definitely started, quote unquote, reading a lot more books after I discovered audiobooks and started listening to them. You can just in this state, it's like you were saying, you don't know how I find the time to do things, and that's how I find the time, is I find ways to consume my media while I'm doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was in high school, I used to be a hardcore sub anime fan. Like it's got to be subtitles. You know what I mean? That's the only way to watch anime. Now I watch all my anime dubbed because I can't fold the laundry while I'm reading subtitles.
Now, let's be real. The best way to consume anime is subtitled.
Sure.
Which I will say is admittedly ableist of me.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking from my standpoint.
Sure.
For me, the best way to consume anime is subtitle. But I will settle for dubbed because I also need to fold my laundry.
Or like, audiobooks and podcasts makes cleaning the kitchen or doing dishes or getting yard work done a whole lot easier.
You know how many episodes of Critical Role that I've listened to and not watched?
Yep.
Who was I just talking to, too, speaking of Critical Role? They just got into Dimension 20. And, they're super excited about it.
Well, I know I just got into Dimension 20, and I'm super excited about it. It's probably not me that you're talking about.
No.
That is true of me.
But I was just thinking that it was you had gotten in there, and I just had a conversation with somebody, and they had just watched, the first couple episodes of... Hold on. Oh, it's my boss! We just talked about it yesterday. Yeah, because I was telling him about it, and he brought up another game that he is really, really into, and it reminded him of that. It's called Monster Hearts. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was like, well, guess what? Critical Role did a Monster Hearts episode.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what? Like, yeah, man. So, yeah. Yep. It was pretty cool.
So, by the time this episode releases, we will have finished the charity stream that we're going to do this weekend. Maybe he'd be willing to tune in to watch you run a D&D game.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. I mean, he already knows about it, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe. I have to let him know.
But yeah.
Oh, sorry. I started thinking about the game at that point. It's like, oh, wait, I need to do this and that and this.
Look, well, put yourself in the mindset of Monday. It's over. You've done it. It's completed.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I hope everybody had a good time. I know I did.
Man, that twist. I just wasn't expecting it. I never saw it coming.
Me neither. I had to go to the doctor. I'm in a cast now.
Oh, geez. Don't put that out there.
Oh, sorry.
There's another streamer I watch, and one of his channel rewards for channel points that you can redeem is a tarot reading.
Oh, cool.
So I redeemed it today, and I was like, hey, tell me how this weekend's going to go. Because he already knew about the charity stream. He's been shouting me out on his stream. And I was like, tell me how my charity stream's going to go. And he pulled the Six of Pentacles, which apparently is a card all about charity and giving and things like that. And so I was like, this is good. This is a good omen. I like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I never thought about doing a reading for this. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as you said Pentacles. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't have the the image of the card in my head, but Pentacles is all about money.
Yeah.
Money, wealth, like he said, charity. So yeah. That's awesome. Also a good idea. I never thought about doing a tarot reading for channel points.
Yeah.
Of course, I almost just want to do $5 donation, I'll do a tarot reading.
Yeah. Well, here's how you lead into it. And I don't want to take too much of this podcast telling you how to do your Twitch. But he does single card pulls for the channel points, right? Mm-hmm. So you could do single card pulls for channel points, and then if someone does a donation or gives you enough bits, you do a full reading.
Right. Yeah.
So you pull them in with the single card pull, and then you're like, you want a full reading? Give me that dono.
Yeah, I'm there for that.
But we've done a lot of cool stuff over the past 3 years. Which 3 years, just that number alone, just that amount, it still shocks me. It doesn't feel like we've been doing it for 3 years.
Not at all.
And I always say it blows by, and it does. Each season goes by so fast. But at the same time, and as much as I've been singing the praise of how much I need Casters Guild, I'm also always very excited for our break. It always comes at just the right time.
I can't I can't stress that enough. I will say that given how great this has been, I am so tired.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it doesn't help that this year we've done more than we ever have before.
yeah. We have had way less missed episodes. I think there was a season 1. I can't remember. I think season 1 we were doing it every other week, and like,
No, I think we were trying to do every other week, but then
yeah,
we weren't really pressed if we missed a week
yeah.
or
And then season 2 is when we started the every week thing, but we still missed quite a bit. And like
I think
this,
we also started later as well, I think.
yeah, I think so too.
Or yeah. Yeah, I think we started later than we normally do.
And
Did we
this
start around
season,
March or something?
March or April. And this year we have done every week. We've missed very rarely, and like we got a ton of episodes in the can.
Yeah. And I know I talked a big game about getting some other stuff going. Let me tell you, I did not take into account how stressful this new job was going to be.
Yeah,
I've never been let me just put this into perspective. I used to work third shift when we first started this. This year I worked first shift. I've never been more tired in my life.
yeah.
I'm a father. I've never been more tired in my life.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely a lot. I'm glad you can keep up, but I do know that if I had started to do any of that other stuff that we were talking about, I mean, believe me, I still have cantrips on the mind. Cantrips is going to happen.
Yeah, all the stuff that you've talked about, that we talked about doing, it's all stuff that I am 100% confident will eventually happen. It's just a matter of when. Like, we talk about how we want to do it. Like, we always talk about, like, in season 1, we talked about how we wanted to do it for season 2. In season 2, we talked about it in season 3. And now we're going to sit here and talk about how we want to do it for season 4. And it might not happen in season 4, but it will happen eventually. Like, eventually we will get the cantrips. Eventually we'll get a book released that's a D&D supplement. Eventually we'll do some stuff on TikTok. It's all stuff that will happen. It's just a matter of when we can find the time and energy to do it.
Right. And or help.
Yeah.
Because I really, really... How about this? I'm going to put it this way. Do I think we could do it by ourselves? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think we should? Probably not.
Nah, probably not.
Because I think that that's going to put so much pressure on us that I believe we are going to burn ourselves out.
Yeah, probably.
You know? It's not... I don't think it's conducive to anything. It's not worth it in my eyes to
Luckily, we have had 1 or 2 guild members step forward and say that they will help with some of the stuff, which is one of the reasons, honestly, some people have been promoted to guild officers just because they're willing to step forward and carry some of that.
Which I will be eternally grateful for.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we just gotta keep plugging away and trust in ourselves and get it done. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Again, I think the more we focus on the stuff that we want to do, the more help that we get. Again, I just don't think it's practical for us to do this without help. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm not looking for a media empire or anything. I'm not trying to be Rhett and Link right now, but I will settle for, Smosh post breakup. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'll settle.
Smosh post breakup. That's a bar right there. That's...
Yeah, I mean, it's a low bar, I think.
Yeah.
It's a low bar.
But it's a good goal to set. It's something you can look at and be like,
right. I think maybe if one of us breaks off and becomes like a famous voice actor, it might help a little bit.
Oh, so, sure.
No pressure, Rick. I know that you have a child, but she's just a toddler. You can do this. Quit being so selfish.
Voice acting is something I wouldn't mind pursuing, actually.
I would love to do voice acting. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this. I've always said for, I say always said, but I mean for, for the past, 10, 20 years, I want to be a famous B-movie star.
Yeah.
I don't want I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone came up and was like, "Hey, Baron, you are going to be in an MCU movie," I'm not going to be like, "Fuck off." No, I'm going.
Right, right,
But I'm aspiring to be movie star. I don't want to be any bigger than that.
right.
I will be in these straight to streaming TV shows or movies. I'm fine with that. Horrible budgets, but a lot of fun. And I've worked with a lot of people that work on things like that, and they're great people. They're fun people.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you have people in those types of movies and those types of shows who are still having fun making art and not necessarily trying to make the most money in a blockbuster hit.
Mm-hmm. Well, then also, you got a lot of people that just do that because they want to hang out with their friends.
Yeah.
And, it's like they want to hang out with their friends, and this is how they do it. They just put together a little money, and they do the thing.
Which I've never heard anything that has described Casters Guild better.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's all we're doing is hanging out with our friends and new people that we meet that become friends and doing whatever we can to elevate whatever it is they've got going on, as well as them helping us elevate what we've got going on.
I think that's one thing that I really enjoy doing. I like elevating my friends.
Yeah.
As far as I can. It's like, I will say that the only thing I would ever use my platform is to help boost my friends up to the platform right above mine.
Yes.
That's all I want in the world. I would love to be successful for the express purpose of making my friends more successful than me.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the biggest reason Casters Guild is a guild to begin with. Mm-hmm. Like, we're trying to make a community of people lifting each other up.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, no matter what we do, the podcast will always be there. Whether we got big on YouTube, whether we got big on TikTok, whether we got big from printing a D&D module, the podcast will always be there, and we will always have our friends on and sing their praises. And at the end of the episode, let them tell people to go look at whatever they want to tell them to go look at.
Absolutely.
So that being said, I'm not sure 100% how it's going to change, but season 4 of Casters Guild, I think, is going to be very different from season 1 through 3 of Casters Guild.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be looking at shorter format. So instead of 1.5 to 2 hour long episodes, I think we're going to be looking at 45-minute to hour long episodes. I feel like that's easier to consume. It's going to be easier on us and possibly make it so we have more time to do more things. The downside of doing a newer format is I think what we're going to end up doing is instead of having a topic that we focus on every week, it's going to be more of a potpourri thing every week where we just kind of talk about...
I love potpourri.
We're going to just be kind of about geek happenings of that particular week, like different headlines we've come across or things that are coming out that we're excited about, things that came out the previous week, or just things that we're doing. Like maybe it's a game that came out a year ago, but we just started playing it and we're just like, man, this game's good. I want to talk about it.
Have you ever heard of this game? I think it's Final Fantasy VII. Have you ever heard of it? It's so good.
The downside of that is, for the first time ever in Casters Guild history, I'm going to have to do like weekly research.
What?
To find out what's going on like in the geek world and like gather headlines and be like, well, this is happening and this is being released.
You know what's funny is, like a rich man who goes on vacations and claims it all as a business expense.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that I do research weekly.
Yeah.
I research weekly in that I consume media of all kinds through the week, and I have plenty to talk about.
In that way, you probably do more research than I do. In general, I stay in my little bubble of geekdom.
Oh, am I about to step up to shine next season?
I think so.
Am I stepping into my element?
I think this is season 4 is gonna be the season of Guildmaster Baron.
My only regret, I will say this, my only regret about our hibernation. Do you know what's releasing right in the middle of our hibernation?
Oh, well, a lot of stuff, but I'm sure you're gonna give me a big one.
Which one is relevant to me? the Dragonlance 5e.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that just means episode 1 of season 4. You're just gonna be able to go.
I'm going to go the fuck off. I'm going to go the fuck off. In a good way or a bad way. There's going to be no in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going the fuck off. Be here for it. I will light something on fire.
Meanwhile, God of War Ragnarok comes out like next week.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh man, I'm not ready.
I'm actually buying a PlayStation 5.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm actually going to buy one because there's one that's actually bundled with the game.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm actually going to buy one. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I was thinking about like saving up for a little bit just so I can get my kiddo one, but we'll see how that goes.
But yeah, just like season 2 was the season of Guildmaster Rick's grind my gears, like the season of Guildmaster Rick rants.
Oh yeah.
Season 4 will be the season for Guildmaster Baron.
That's right. It is I'm in my element. That is what I'm most excited about.
But that being said, if you're listening to this right now, and if you're a fan of Casters Guild or a guild member, I hope you are. I don't think we're going to be hunting for guests next season at all. I probably won't be reaching out to anybody and be like, hey, we're doing an episode next week. Do you want to be on? But if you know something is coming out a particular week that you want to talk about, you can be like, hey, this new game is just got announced and I want to talk about it. Can I be on this week's episode or next week's episode or whatever? Yes. The answer is yes. Absolutely you can. And I think that's how we're going to do guests for season 4.
And honestly, if you don't want to, that's fine. Where where our feelings aren't going to be hurt, you shouldn't put yourself under that pressure. But just know, especially if you are a older guild member, or already an established guild member, I should say, old, young, you're all welcome. We will definitely be more than likely throw you right in. You could, you know what? You could even be like, you know what? I don't really have anything I want to talk about. I just kind of want to come in and hang out and talk. Come on. You could come in as a guild member, be on the podcast with us, and just pipe in every once in a while. I'm fine. You only have to talk as much as you want. It's mine and Guildmaster Rick's jobs to do the talking.
Yeah, and chances are, like, even if you think you have nothing to say, by the time me and Baron get going, you'll probably have something to say. If it's nothing else, just commentary.
That's right. We'll crack you open like a pomegranate and spill your little seeds everywhere.
I'm all about spilling our Guildmaster's seeds.
That's right. Wait, I see how that sounds now? And I'm sticking with it. I'm leaning into it.
Yep.
Leaning into it.
Season 4, the season where we spill all our guild members' seed.
That's right. Come and watch. That sounded bad too. Fuck it. Leaning into it. Leaning into it.
It's going to be the climax of the entire series.
Indeed. Everything will come to a head.
Not trying to stroke our own egos here or anything. Just
right. And we could talk about it, but we can even argue if you wish. But I warn you, I am a master debater, so come softly. Come softly.
Or carry a big stick.
Or both.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Penis. Sorry.
I'm definitely excited to see how doing things differently works. And like I don't think like when I say I'm excited, there's also like 0% nervousness there. Like I'm not nervous. I'm not like, oh man, this isn't going to work. Like I know this will work at least as well as what we do now.
Yeah. I think the only concern I have is it going to work for us? Is it going to feel right? Is it going to feel good? Which I don't really have much doubt that it's going to work. So
yeah, same. Especially with the reason we do this. The reason we do this is to basically hang out with each other and talk nerdy shit. And
right.
That's what we're going to end up doing anyway. And there's always something new coming out. There's always something that just came out. There's always something we haven't talked about. So
right. That's it right there. There's always something we haven't talked about. And in another way to look at it, there's always something that we have talked about that we could talk about in a different way.
Yeah, that's very true.
We've proven that by doing revisits to our episodes.
Mm-hmm. There's been a couple different topics that we've covered 3 times now.
Yeah,
that we've visited every season.
That's crazy,
and
isn't it?
The topics that we've done that with, there's been topics that we've revisited once, or topics that we haven't revisited at all, that have been like, maybe we could do another one about that. But the ones that we've revisited 3 times, I have no doubt in my mind we could do 3 more episodes on those same things, especially if we gave a year in between.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, Star Wars alone, Star Wars and MCU alone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with Andor just having come out, I'm pretty sure is Ahsoka coming out before we come back?
I don't know.
Anyways, I mean, I could probably do a whole episode on Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah.
I could do a whole episode on just the trailers.
There is no official release date for Ahsoka at the moment, but it's expected to debut in 2023.
Okay. But yeah, speaking of Andor, have you seen any of it?
I have seen the first 3 episodes, which is not to say that I didn't like it and didn't continue it. I really enjoyed those first 3 episodes, but we have been absolutely pummeled with content since Andor came out. Like, as far as like things that are available to watch.
Yes.
And if you know anything about my wife, you know that the Interview with the Vampire show definitely took precedence over Andor.
I've seen the first one, and it is lovely.
It is good.
That show really is good. Lovely. Mm-hmm. It's been said on more than one occasion. I really wish she would have lived to have seen this.
Yeah.
Because I think she would have enjoyed it.
Because the further you get into the series, the more different it is from the books, but not in a way that she wouldn't have loved it. It's difficult to explain, because there are other things that I'm like, this is so different from the book, and I don't like it. But like the direction this has gone, I feel like it still pays so much respect to the source material, even with how different that it is.
Right.
Like, you don't feel, just because the characters are doing different things, you don't feel like they're different people. It feels like that if the same characters that Anne Rice wrote were put in these situations, these are the decisions that they would have made.
Oh yeah, and also I actually appreciate them completely erasing subtext and just putting it right on the page.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's like, you read the book and it's like, is there something there? And then you watch a show, it's like, yes, it's there.
Let's go ahead and beat you over the head with it, as a matter of fact.
It's happening. Wow, he's floating. That's okay. So good, it's floating. Oh, but also, by the way, I think you saw my post about this, but Jake the dog is in it.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was because I saw him in the first part that he was in. It was unrecognizable to me.
Mm-hmm.
His voice was weird. He looked weird. But then when he showed up at the poker game, I'm like, that motherfucker. Bender Rodriguez himself is right here, right now.
Which is fantastic casting, just all around.
Oh yeah, all around. Yes. I appreciate them making Lestat straight up French too.
Yes.
I like that.
I've been learning a couple things too, because my wife comes back to me. She's been listening to the companion podcast to the show, and like, she was talking about how the actor for Lestat, he had very short hair when the series started, and the show creators were like, well, it's okay, Lestat can have short hair, and the actor was like, no, I've read these books. Lestat will look this way, the way he is described in the books. And so he wore a wig for the first couple of episodes until he could actually grow out his hair. And
that's
like,
cool.
He has actually grown out his hair to be long now. And like, that's how dedicated he is to being Lestat.
Well, you know what? I'd like to... there's 2 reasons why this could have happened. 1, he's just dedicated... Well, 3 reasons. He's dedicated to the character. He's dedicated to its craft. And he's like, I respect the source material this much that this needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2, these fans will rip me apart.
Yeah.
If I don't pull this off. or 3, both.
Yeah. Could be a
There's
little bit of here, a little bit of there.
Right.
Could be I'm a fan and I know what I would do to the person playing Lestat if they didn't do it right. So I got to make sure I'm going to do it right.
Yep. But I can appreciate the work that they put into it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. And I do like the change, at least because I'm having a hard time remembering the book. I like the change to Louis's character.
Yeah.
From the movie to the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different story. Completely different story.
Yeah.
And it works.
But I think the
core
of who Louis is, like,
oh, absolutely,
as a person is exactly the same.
Absolutely. Tortured.
Yes.
Tortured.
Poor Louis.
Tortured before he met Lestat.
Yes.
Tortured. So yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, between that and my wife and I are also catching up on Doctor Who. I stopped when Jodie became the Doctor. I actually got like about 6 episodes into when Jodie became the Doctor, and I just wasn't into it. And I want to clarify, it's not because of Jodie. I think she is an excellent Doctor, and I think she does an excellent job with the role. The writing for those seasons just...
That's a big problem for me, because it's like that. I mean, that kind of goes back with the Star Wars stuff that was coming out.
Yeah,
I have no problem with who they cast in anything, in anything, but the writing of it was so bad. I'm looking at you, episode 8. Looking at you.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just the right is. I think in some terms, there's some geeks out there that just don't like something, and it seems like it's because maybe they gender bent this character, or or like in this case, maybe Louis black now. But you know what? That's not the case, and they prove it because fucking Interview the Vampire is fucking great,
and
episode 8 is not.
So and here's the spoilers that comes in every episode of Caster's Guild. But
I'm not ready.
Tiffany and I found out that before the Doctor regenerates into this new actor, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name because I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly. But it's spelled Ncutigatwa. And he looks fantastic. But for like one episode before the Doctor regenerates into the new Doctor, the Doctor regenerates into David Tennant again. And Neil Patrick Harris plays the villain in that particular episode. So hearing David Tennant and Neil Patrick Harris were going to be an episode, and a bunch of the old writers were coming back and things like that, I was like, okay, I'm going to catch up, and I'm going to watch all the episodes I didn't watch.
Right.
And then we're going to watch that episode. So between Interview and catching up on Doctor Who, I haven't seen the rest of Andor. I haven't seen Rings of Power yet. It's definitely going to happen.
Man. Oh, man. Rings of Power, man. Rings of Power. Love it.
Yeah, and then they came out with a new season of Big Mouth. So, like, I binged that while, like, between meetings at work.
It's a good time to be a geek.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a geek. I'm just going to say that.
And at the time of recording this, that new Weird Al movie releases on Roku TV, which is free to everybody. You just got to download the app. Releases on Roku TV tomorrow.
Wow.
So by the time you're hearing this, by the time this episode released, it will have been out for a couple of days. So yeah, go watch that.
Absolutely, yeah. I did.
Yes, by the time you're hearing this, we have both watched that movie.
Right. So come ask us what we thought, because I have opinions about it.
Yeah, we might not be releasing new episodes, but you'll still be able to get in contact with us, especially on our Discord.
Oh yeah, we're all about Discord.
Maybe Baron will start doing some more streaming again.
I mean, with this time, yeah, sure. I'll have days opening up to do stuff. So yeah.
And for this charity stream, for the first time ever, I spent a bunch of time putting together overlays and setting up stream elements and a chat bot. So maybe with all that work and I put into it, maybe I'll start streaming more than once a year.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, you know what? I think I really started getting into streaming when I equated it to this.
Right.
It's me just playing a game and hanging out with people. I'm playing a game anyways, so why not stream it?
Right.
That was kind of just my attitude about it.
Yeah. And yeah, that's true until you become like a big streamer. And then it like there is a difference between playing a game by yourself and like streaming with other people.
Well, I will say this though, if it was to ever get to the point where I was to ever be a big streamer, I mean, it's going to be like a job anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I was to ever be a big streamer, I was making that money, I'm going to be hiring people to help me with this. I'm going to be hiring people to help me with that. I'm going to be, getting new equipment. It's going to be a job.
You'll have moderators in your chat and yeah.
Right. If it's making me thousands of dollars a week, yes, I'm making it my job. I will quit everything else and do that.
Yep.
Because making that kind of money, I'll be able to save up enough money to retire on, and I won't need a job.
Right.
So yeah, I'll get enough money to hire my attorney to be able to do good things with my money.
Mm-hmm. At that point, you could be like, fuck a 401k.
Yeah. Yeah. The dream is there.
Mm-hmm.
The dream is there. I've even thought about doing the whole, just jumping in and maybe just putting some money into some lottery stuff.
Sure.
Because if I ever hit the lottery, it's again, I'm just gonna quit and I'm gonna focus on this.
Yeah.
You won't have to edit anymore because I'll just hire an editor. You just focus on family and talking.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. If I ever won the lottery, the first thing I would do is to be hire you. That's the first thing I would do.
Mm-hmm. Same. Yep. Neither of us gonna work. Mm-hmm. Both gonna focus on this. Yeah. First thing we would do, hire each other.
Yep.
And then we hire an editor.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing nothing else. You're editing.
Mm-hmm.
Quit that job. We're paying you this much money a year. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, I'll take that back. First thing we do, get an accountant.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Accountant, lawyer,
mm-hmm.
Get those guys on retainer.
Mm-hmm.
Start investing that money so that we get a return on it, no matter if we lose out on this or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's a crazy pipe dream to go, oh yay, we do this, and then like a year later we're out of money. But like if we're living off the interest, like that's it's a little different.
Right. Yep. Because I mean that'd be cool, to have enough money to, oh no, I make $100,000 a year just on interest.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I'll spend this accordingly.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We have big dreams, people. We have big dreams.
Not to say that like we haven't. Once again, not to say that we haven't enjoyed what we've done so far. It's my favorite thing to do. I look forward to it every week. And...
Look, I'm saying I challenge life. I challenge it
mm-hmm.
to prove me wrong when I say if we make a shit ton of money, there's going to be very little to the spirit. There's going to be very little change to the spirit of our podcast.
Yes.
We'll get better equipment.
Mm-hmm.
We will get editors. We will get... editors. I say we will hire people to help us.
Mm-hmm.
But past that, we're still going to be two guys talking about what we love with the people we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I challenge life to make that different.
Yep.
Now, would I have Jack Black on the show? Sure, why not? Sure.
Absolutely.
But I'd also be more than happy to, have Ray back on the show. Have
mm-hmm.
Maxwell back on the show. Have any of our people who were on here.
Yeah, once you're a member for life. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless you do some like real fucked up like J.K. Rowling level shit.
Oh yeah, we'll drop you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But also know that if Jack Black comes on the show after you, you're technically higher ranked than him. So
yeah,
we are a guild. So yeah, you have seniority. So you get your day off first before Jack Black does. Just remember that.
Who
would be? You know what? how about this? And I know we're just talking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about what we're going to be doing. We're talking about what we've done. But you know what? I have a question.
Okay.
Just like we do on podcasts, right? Who would be your dream guest on the show? Now, I will allow you one cop-out guest, and then one other guest of celebrity fame.
Sure. So obviously, I immediately choose like the Game Grumps because I just want to talk to them.
I almost feel like that's cheating, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not sure a whole lot. I'm not sure this is their format or like this. They would be like the best guest to have. I'd want to hang out with them and talk to them, but like I'm not sure like this is what they would be up for or like even what would be best for them to do.
Okay.
So that being said, Edgar Wright.
Okay.
I feel like dude's got some opinions on some nerdy shit. Plus, we could talk about his work. Which I think would be fantastic.
Yeah, completely agree. That would be fun. I would look forward to that day.
Mm-hmm.
So again, in Casters Guild protocol, I guess, who would be like a couple other people?
That's rough. You put me on the spot here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just think of different categories. Categories. Sure. You're thinking Edgar Wright is like your dream, but let's think who would be the most fun, or who would you like to meet, or
so on the tabletop side. I've met him once before, but I'd really like to sit down and have a conversation with him. Chris Perkins would probably be a good guest.
Okay.
And then let's see. You know who could be fun? Charles Martinet. He's the voice actor for Mario and Company.
Oh, okay.
Like he's a voice actor, and like he's done a lot of other things other than Mario. He's Parthenax from Skyrim, but like he's most well known. He is like Mario and Luigi and Wario and Waluigi, and like when you take his voice and like speed it up or slow it down, he's also Boo and Bowser and Donkey Kong. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah, like if you take Boo's laugh and slow it down, it's Bowser, and vice versa. Take Bowser's laugh and speed it up, it's Boo. So
I did not know that.
Yep,
that's funny. So I think that my first guest would probably be my mom, and you're a horrible person for not thinking of that.
I've asked my mom to be on this podcast before. I don't think it's her thing.
That was my cop-out answer.
Oh, okay. I get it. And my dad has been on this podcast.
Oh, that's true. That is true. I think, you know who I would really, really love to have on here? Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be great. You know what? No, package deal. Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. Both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like peanut butter and chocolate, man. It's not like peanut butter and jelly where like you can't have one without the other, but like they're both great alone and even better together. Like peanut butter and chocolate.
Absolutely. Yeah, that I would love to have them. I know, obviously one or the other. If like, they were like, I'll only do it by myself. Oh no, Ian McKellen.
It's like, first of all, I don't believe you.
Right. And then you know what? I guess in a lot kind of along the same vein, all 4 Hobbits.
Oh, that'd be cool.
All 4 Hobbits. That'd be great. But if I had to choose two, just Merry and Pippin.
Sure.
Just Merry and Pippin. Mostly because they have their own podcast. So they're already doing the podcast game. So it'd be great to have them on the show.
And like in the vein of just because we got famous people on doesn't mean we would like abandon our friends as far as guests. If we had Merry and Pippin on, it'd be really cool to have Merry back from our Lord of the Rings episode.
Obviously.
And be like, Merry, meet Merry.
Right. Absolutely. You know what? I will say this. Let's aim for the stars, and like if we got huge, you know who'd be great? Kevin Feige.
Oh God.
Can you imagine that shit?
I feel like he'd hate us by the end of that episode.
Oh yeah, no, he would. But that's part of the reason why I want him on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, Kat Dennings.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure we would have a great conversation. Also, would probably hate me by the end of it. I mean, I wouldn't be creepy about it.
Right. But insistent.
Insistent. Jesus.
Like there would be no question. Like,
Right.
not creepy, but like there would be no question.
Right. No, I mean, I would definitely. It would be. So after this, after the podcast, did you want to go out for some dinner, Brad? I haven't done the intro yet. Oh, ow, awkward. Woo! Should have waited. Should have waited. All right. All right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely have. I have a good list of people that I would love to have on the show. Weirdly enough, I wouldn't say no to Jack Black.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not on my list, even though I brought him up specifically. He's not on my list of people I would love to have on the show. Again, wouldn't say no if he wanted to, though.
I feel like with his newest role, he came up a few spots on my potential list.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he's playing Bowser now, which means,
Right.
Like you're in the space. Not to say that you weren't in the space before, Brutal Legend and all that. But
you're saying like you would like to have Chris Pratt on the show?
Jack Black, it's just be really cool.
Oh man, it hurts.
Yeah, it does. I saw a video where somebody took the Mario trailer and like dubbed Charles Martinet's voice over Chris Pratt for the trailer. And like that's the great big headline of the video, right? It's the title of the video, like Charles Martinet voicing the Mario in the Mario trailer. And you think you know what that's going to be, but when I saw the video, they took a bunch of Parthenax's lines from Skyrim and made that the Charles Martinet voice they used.
Is that Charles Martinet?
Yeah.
He does Parthenax's voice?
Yeah, he's Party Snacks.
What?
Yeah.
Also, never heard of that dragon referred to as Party Snacks.
Really?
Never. He will now forever be Party Snacks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Party Snacks, man.
Yep. Wow.
Like I was waiting for the Yahoo! And instead, like, out comes Parthenax, and I was like, okay, I see what you did there. This is clever.
Well, that was nice.
So, what have you been up to that we haven't had the chance to talk about in the past year just because it hasn't fit our topics? And what are you excited to do during our hibernation?
Let me start out with what I'm excited to do during the hibernation. Rest.
Yeah.
Rest. Again, it's not like this. It's not like the podcast itself takes up a lot of my sleep time or anything like that.
Sure.
But it's another plate that's spinning.
Sure.
So to be able to take a plate off and not worry about it for a little while, I can't wait. It's going to make me more ready to take on this plate when it comes back up again.
Mm-hmm.
As far as what I've been doing, I mean, I've brought it up before. Work. It's a new job. It's a new shift, but on the bright side, though, it has very much the potential to bring about a new life.
Yeah.
I for the very first time was able to just pay off my bills at the beginning of the month.
That's a good feeling.
That's a great feeling. I feel like I am. Hold on, let me word this. I'm not grown up. I'm not a grown up.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm more of an adult now.
Yes.
Because let's admit this. Being an adult is good.
Yeah.
Being a grown-up is bad.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Being a grown-up is bad. So yeah. Again, I'm not rich, but you know what? Comfortable feels good.
Yes.
I guess in terms of like a personal standpoint, I'm kind of playing in that Tuesday game with the Fandom Encounter Table group.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't published a game yet. We've been talking about it for a little while.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've been looking for it. Yep.
Yep. So we got that going, and I'm playing in a White Wolf game now on Fridays.
Nice.
Yeah, we're playing. We're mortals, just normal people with a little bit of power.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We just did our Halloween episode.
Nice.
I say episode, but you could say episode with White Wolf though, because they are really just scenes and plays and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Have I done anything crazy though? And I guess I could bring up what I was talking about before the podcast. I'm actually trying to start to write.
Yeah.
I've got an idea for a book, which could very easily become a series of books. And you know what? And don't at me. I hate horror, guys. I hate it. I am not a fan of it. There are horror things that I like. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, the genre I can't stand. But I have the beginnings of a horror anthology.
It's also funny that you hate horror when like you aspire to be a B movie actor, because the easiest way to become a B movie actor is to be a horror movie actor.
You know what? You know what's funny? You know what's funny is I've acted in 3 horror movies. One of them I was an extra. It actually got released. It was rentable in Blockbuster. And then I was in another movie that was released at a film festival where I was a main character, or a supporting actor, I should say. And then I was in another one that just never got released because like the main actor director got hurt. So we never got back to it, but yeah, crazy. All horror.
Yeah.
One of them I got my penis chewed off in.
Oof.
Yep, sweet girl though.
Before I dig into what I've been up to and what I would like to take a moment, because this is the time normally where I'd throw in a shout out to one of our affiliates. But being this is the season finale, I'm going to do something a little different rather than read some copy. I would like to thank both of our affiliates that we currently have. I'd like to thank Geeky Clean. They have some really cool stuff that'll make you smell good, but it's all still nerdy themed, which is important. They're fighting the stereotype of the unwashed nerd, which is important. And T-Villain was your idea, and I reached out to T-Villain, and they've been great too ever since we started working with them. Really awesome t-shirts, and I was really surprised to find out more than t-shirts. They've got sweaters and hoodies and long sleeve shirts, and they've had mechanic shirts and tank tops, and just like the designs are all fantastic.
Which I completely forgot. We have an idea, like we were going to make like a little uniform. I can't even remember what it is now. Remember, we were going to do like the shirt and then the mechanic shirt over it.
Yes, yeah. Like I did it in the TikTok that I duetted with you.
What was the mechanic shirt?
The Beholder.
I needed the gelatinous cube. Is that what I needed?
I don't know. My idea was the Hellfire Club and the Beholder, which I got both of those, and I think I missed my window. I think I missed my window because it was going to be something, and I can't remember what it was. I mean, who knows? When it comes to T-Villain, that stuff could always come back around.
That's fair.
Because I missed the Hellfire Club shirt its first time around, and then they brought it back, and I was like, I need to get this now.
Don't sleep on it this time.
Yep.
But anyways.
See, we've had a couple people participate in our Hellfire Club challenge since we announced it.
You can go see them on our Discord.
Under Cosplay Madness. But yeah, I'm thankful that we've had affiliates, and they've been good affiliates. I haven't needed to, not that I would, but I haven't needed to shill anything I don't believe in as far as products go.
Yeah, we've been pretty vocal about, we both like Geeky Clean before. I know that I don't know how much you knew of T-Villain before, but I've had pretty much been buying a t-shirt a week for a while there. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I have a whole dresser full of their t-shirts. So, and everywhere I go, I get people saying, "That's a cool shirt." It's like, well, thank you. I made it myself, which isn't true.
Yeah, you can get a T-Villain. Here's a link.
Yep. Just have like a business card with their stuff on it.
But yeah, I talk about them even not on the podcast, just like when it comes up, and give out our links just because I think they're cool products.
Yep. Again, like you said, it's I wouldn't be comfortable shilling something that I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I think that both of those are quality products that I am proud to be linked to in one way or another. So yeah,
Yep. So,
absolutely.
things that I've been up to. So it was more toward the beginning of season 3, but I also got a new job, and things have been going really well in that new job. As a matter of fact, my boss is now asking me, where do you want to go next? What do you want to do next? Because he's ready to help me, move up in the company, which is fantastic. I've been preparing for this 24-hour stream. I've been doing charity streams for a long time, but like this one feels like it's going to be the biggest one, and people can tell me whether or not they thought it was by the time they hear this episode. And I've gotten a lot of support on this one, and the cause is something, of course, that's a lot closer to my heart than previous years. Not to say that I didn't believe in the cause I was, playing for before. I wouldn't have been doing it if I didn't believe in it. But this one, of course, is a lot closer to me because it is my niece. So
Right.
So I'd be lying if I said it wasn't stressful preparing for it, but it's also very exciting, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot more games than I'd have before. I started Shadow of War recently, that a Lord of the Rings game, the Middle Earth Shadow of War.
I played the first one. So good.
Yeah. I'd heard people talk about how good it was before and talk about like the Nemesis system, but you really don't know how good it is until you dive into it and start playing it yourself. Really enjoying that. I've talked about some of the shows I've been watching already. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Like I said, like God of War Ragnarok is coming, and I know it's going to suck up so much of my time. I know for a fact.
Look, it's either going to suck up a lot of your time or very little, because you're going to fly through it.
Yeah, that's true. But if it's anything like the first one, even after I flew through it, I still went back and like did all the extra stuff. So, because I did not want to leave that game. Like, even after I beat it and like it was done, I was like, I want more of this. I don't want to leave this world yet. So,
yeah, I feel that. I had a very similar situation with Cyberpunk. I wish I could tell you how many hours I've played. Oh, I know how to tell you. But anyways, go ahead.
Started a new D&D campaign. We're like 2 or 3 sessions in now, and I'm really excited with how it's going. I'm just doing a module. We're doing Dragon Heist, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying this module. If you've never read it before, when you start the game, you pick what season it is that you're running it in, be it summer, winter, spring, fall. And each one has a different main bad guy that you are trying to stop. So you could run that module, theoretically, 4 different times with the same group and have it be different every time. And the way it's set up, like the investigation that the party is doing right now, is very different than anything I've run in the past, as far as like dungeon crawls and fight the bad guys and like save the kingdom sort of thing. There's a whole lot more intrigue and like, what's going on with this? Is this person lying to us? What does this clue mean? And I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, it's something I've wanted to play.
Yeah.
It's something that I've wanted to play. It's just I've never had the chance to, obviously. But yeah, definitely something I want to do at some point.
But yeah, and the cool thing is, if you're a new dungeon master and you're looking for a good module to run, it's one of the less expensive modules. It starts your players at level 1. I skipped some of the early level stuff for my current group because they're experienced. But if you're a new DM with inexperienced players, or even an experienced player with inexperienced players, like the starter stuff really ramps up into the intrigue. So yeah, and like I said, it's not a super expensive module, and it comes with a lot of cool magic items and things like that aren't in the standard Dungeon Master's Guide. And there's a whole kind of race of people called the Nimblewrights, which are kind of like automatons.
Oh, okay.
Which are really cool too. So And an inclusive module. There are non-binary characters. There are most of the number rights speak with sign language. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
And I went to my first convention since the pandemic.
I've been openly jealous about that since I heard about it.
It wasn't a huge convention. It was bigger than I was expecting to be in small town Tennessee, but it was really cool. Talked to a lot of really cool vendors, and debuted a new cosplay, which was Dad Bod Thor, at that convention, which I've been excited about forever.
Right.
So, and like these are all things that I just feel like we haven't had a chance to talk about in our podcast just because they haven't fit the themes of our podcast. But I feel like with our new format, we'll be able to talk about this kind of stuff more regularly.
Absolutely. And I think that's important too. I think that this is going to be good for us. I think we got kind of caught up in the humdrum of formula and I don't want to say script, but script in a way. So I think it's going to be good for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, there was nothing else I really had on the docket as far as things to talk about.
I mean, the fact that we went this long, I'm actually amazed.
You want to throw a bow on this one? Or
I don't know.
Do you have anything else?
Hold on!
Okay.
You know what? Hold on. I actually do have a good question.
Go for it.
Since we are getting close to the holidays, a lot of our listeners may want to know, and I'm not saying because we want them to buy them for us, but maybe it's something that they may want to put on their list. What's on your list to Santa?
Okay. Since you've asked this question, I am going to pull up two lists right now. I am on a website called Elfster that I use to set up secret Santa groups with my friends. And one of the features of Elfster is you can put together a wish list. That way, whoever pulls you in Secret Santa, they get an idea what you're looking for. And I'm also just going to pull up my Amazon wish list. And we're going to go down both of those lists. And I'm going to tell you about all kinds of stuff that I've wanted that I haven't gotten the chance to get.
Oh my God, I'm actually just looking at mine for the first time in a long time. Holy crap, there's so much stuff that I've been wanting.
So first thing, and this is something I immediately thought about as soon as you started asking the question, because these are recent that they were announced. They're only available for pre-order right now, but they look so fucking cool. Dicelings. Have you heard about these?
Oh, the little transformer guys?
Yeah, they're a D20 that transforms into a Dungeons and Dragon monster. You know how bad I want the red dragon one? Come on. That's so cool. Let's see. Oh, another thing relating to a tattoo I have. I don't own the Muffin Time card game yet.
Okay.
So that's been sitting on my wish list for quite a while. I don't remember much about this, but I know I saw a TikTok about this game. And after I saw the TikTok and saw the person describe the game, I immediately went and threw it on my Amazon wish list. Smirk and Dagger, the Night Cage board game.
Okay.
I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I know I wanted it enough that I threw it on my wish list. Another one I saw from a TikTok, Labyrinth, the adventure game, which is just a book, but the book has a cutout in the bottom of the page where you can fit 2d6. And it's almost like a choose your own adventure book, but you also roll the dice to see if certain things happen. So it's like a one person self-led TTRPG kind of thing set in the Labyrinth world. You know, I love my Funko Pops, but I was very late to jump on the Fallen Order train. And once I did, I love Fallen Order. I heard. Yep. So I missed out on when the Cal Kestis Funko Pops were new. But they are still available for around $20-$25 on Amazon. So that's definitely on my list, the Cal Kestis Funko Pop. Let's see. Oh, a couple things off of my Elfster list now. The Fallout role-playing game came out not that long ago by Modifius Games.
Oh yeah, I've been looking. I've been wanting that too.
But they recently released a starter set for it.
Okay.
So I went ahead and put that starter set on my wish list. You've heard me talk about Parsley a couple times on the podcast. The same guy who made Parsley made another game called Inspectors, which it's not Ghostbusters, but it's Ghostbusters.
Gotcha.
Like a role-playing game. But it's meant to do, it's built for one-shots. And like the book's only like $20. So I threw that on my wish list. I've also made it, pretty clear, my love of Game Grumps. They have some merch on their website from their 10-minute Power Hour show that is like dino skeleton cufflinks and a gold chain collar clip that matches their 10-minute Power Hour aesthetic.
Okay.
Let's see. Always Dungeons & Dragons blind box miniatures.
I actually have literally those on my Amazon wish list right now.
Yep. Always geeky clean stuff. Always T-villain stuff. There's some other Funko Pops here, but I won't go through every single one in detail. And
because you are a collector, and that could be a lot.
Yes. And last thing, just because I kind of want to shout out the guy, I found somebody on TikTok who sells lightsabers. They've got a lightsaber store, Level Up Sabers, and they might be on the cast next season. But there's one in their store called The Chamber, which it's the lightsaber, and the kyber crystal inside the lightsaber is like exposed. And it's like xenopixel, so whatever color you choose to light up the lightsaber, like the kyber crystal lights up that same color, like when you turn it on. And it's got like full sounds, flash on class, chip drag, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's on my wish list too. I know that was a lot. I hate you guys with a lot of stuff, but I'm a geek. I mean, like I want geeky shit.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I mean, I think that this is, honestly, I really think that this is important because again, holidays are coming up. There may be a lot of stuff that people don't know about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess for me, I have a lot of TTRPG stuff on my lists. I'm going to say there is... One thing I've been wanting to do is Pathfinder 2. So, 2nd edition Pathfinder, I've been really, really wanting to get into. So, I'm definitely looking into that. I want to get Cyberpunk Red. That's on my wish list.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big 2020 fan. I should like red, I would imagine. Oh, and like those nice, crisp, gourmet dice that they're putting out now.
Oh yeah.
Those really, really pretty ones, especially like the clear ones with the sharp edges and the funky shit in them.
Inclusions,
oh my God.
yeah.
Oh, they're so gorgeous. I'd never use them, but they'd be there just to show off.
This reminds me, and I know like my turn's already over, but I recently found something that's going to go on my Elfster list now that I've seen it. I just haven't put it there yet. Okay. I texted it to myself to remind myself there's a company making gummy dice. Now you said gourmet dice, it made me think. And like the flavors are all like gourmet flavors. Like they're like, they've got like red wine flavored gummy dice. You know what I mean? And things like that. Like they're all like, it's not like, pineapple. No, it's like all like gourmet shit. So,
gotcha.
And you know what? Since we are doing it for the purpose of people finding them, I'll put the link in the description.
Cool.
But yeah, what else?
Okay, so then like there are a couple other things I want to get. Kids on Bikes.
Yep.
The big one, which I think I'm gonna have to buy this for myself. I can't wait for Santa to bring this to me. But I want the Dragonlance Deluxe box.
Nice.
So it's going to come out with the book, the adventure. It's going to come out with the board game. It's
yeah, you got to have it all.
So good. Oh,
like
yeah.
This is your thing.
Yeah, this is my thing. Yeah. And then kind of like getting away from that, I want to get the Max Miller Tasting History Cookbook.
Okay.
If you haven't watched Tasting History, you absolutely should. It's such an informative show. Oh, you know what I haven't gotten yet is Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel.
Oh, yeah. I actually did pick that up from a friendly local game store. Like, we just happened to stop by because, like, we aren't often in an area with an FLGS, but we happened to stop by one, and I don't leave one without buying something, and they had a copy there, and it was still sitting there, and they still had the game store exclusive cover.
Oh wow, okay.
sitting there. So like, yeah, I definitely had to pick it up.
Nice. I think also I want to get Monsters of the Multiverse. I want to get that. But honestly, after that, I really want to get some. I really want to get some clothes.
Yeah.
I want to get some clothes that I can wear to the office, and stuff to look good, like something to where I can wear to the office and still look good in.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So I'm being really, really self-conscious about the stuff that I'm wearing, and I really want to kick up my game a little bit. Cooking stuff. Oh, and then patches,
Oh,
patches, buttons, pins. I've kind of got a vest started, and I want to start adding some more stuff to it. So, yeah, yep. I think that's about it. I mean, I got a bunch of other stuff that I'm really wanting, but I think that that works for me because I have a bunch of stuff I want for the kitchen. I have a bunch of stuff that I want for my bookshelf, like reading wise,
mm-hmm.
comics and just all together, like accessories. A lot of stuff, but in terms of like geeky stuff, I think, oh, you know what, I'll take that back. There's one more thing I want to start getting into. It's the High Republic books.
Oh, yeah.
The High Republic books, I've heard good things, not from like the old school Star Wars people, but
Mm-hmm.
I've heard good things. I tend to I tend to just ignore people who come at me with extreme negativity on something just because it's new. So,
Sure.
um, but yeah, so yeah, that's the last thing, the High Republic books.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's good stuff. Like we're all gonna have secret Santa parties, dirty Santa parties, like and just like wanting to get gifts for our geeky friends. And I think you're right.
Yep.
There might be some things on our list that people just didn't know about. Maybe you should go check it out.
You know what? And I have a recommendation. Just get on Amazon. Go in there, look for stuff that you like, click it into your wish list, and then let the algorithm catch up so that it shows you, hey, you might also like these things.
Mm-hmm.
Put those on your wish list, get a good, nice list going, and then go to your friendly local game store.
Yeah.
Take that list, go to your friendly local game store, and get what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, that algorithm is scary good in that way.
Yep. I mean, it gets kind of tedious when all of these like weird like
Resellers, yeah.
well weird like
Drop shippers.
these manga that just start popping up, and they got like a bunch of naked people in them and everything. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It's weird. It seems really random to me. I don't know why they're targeting me like this.
Yeah, like where are they getting that information from? Like that you might like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's stereotypical.
Yeah.
And like, or not stereotypical. It's
Profiling.
profiling. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the word I was looking for. Huh. Anyways, got another thing to put on my list here. There we go. Look at them Ghiblies. All right. What?
You said Ghibli, like Studio Ghibli,
Yeah,
right?
Studio Ghibli. Yeah.
All right, now you want to go ahead and wrap this one up?
Yeah, yeah. Even though this has really just been me and you both just kind of putting on a bow for this season.
Yeah.
It's always sad, but it's always like a relief. It's like we made it another one.
Yep.
And that feeling of excitement that this next season is coming, and it's just going to be even better than this year. And it's going to be like that for all of us. I'm really looking forward to really showing off what we can do. I think this time I'm not going to go into this making promises beyond. I'm excited to see what we can do and what we can show you and what we can actually commit to and pull off. And I know Guildmaster Rick is excited as well. And I hope that you are as happy with us as we are with us, because we are definitely happy with you. We're definitely happy for the love that we've received from you guys. I'm definitely happy with the love that we've gotten from our guild members, and just all around pleased with how this whole thing has played out. And I can't wait for more.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. And I just want to throw out one more round of thanks. Thank you to the listener. Thank you to our guild members all the way back from season 1 through this season. Everyone who's been on, you've been excellent, and I mean that for every single one of you. And thank you again to Guildmaster Baron for being by my side for all of it. Check out our Discord. You know, if you follow the Discord and you're sad because there's no new episode of Casters Guild, if we're going to be doing something and you can find us anywhere, the Discord will let you know where that is.
Yep.
Check out all the links in the description, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you next season.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.